All right, I'd like to call the Village of Cottage Grove Plan Commission to order. It's Wednesday, December 13th at 6:30 PM. We are holding this in the Village Hall as well as on Zoom. There is a Zoom link at the top of the agenda. We have a quorum. The agenda was properly posted, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, then, we have public appearances. It's public's opportunity to speak. If you are from the public and wish to speak, we just ask that you share your name, your address, your municipality, and hold your comments to no more than 3 minutes in case we have a number of folks who would like to speak. With that, then, I will pause. Anybody on Zoom or in the room who would like to speak? Now's your chance. All right, then we'll move to discuss and consider our meeting minutes from our Plan Commission meeting held on November 8th. Any questions, comments, or edits in regards to the meeting minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
All right.
Second.
We have a motion and second then. Any further discussion? Having heard none, all those in favor then?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Next then we have discuss and consider a request from Monroe Grove School District for a site plan amendment to add a ground-mounted solar array at Granite Ridge Elementary School located on 4500 Bus Road. With that, we do have the applicants here. Just please come up, and if you would, there's a little button there that's got a person looks like he's speaking. You, and press that so the folks on the Zoom can hear you as well.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Sean Curry with McKinstry, and I have to my left here Gary True with Monona Grove School District. He is the facility director. I'm an operations manager for renewables for McKinstry. Been with them for about 12 years. And McKinstry is an energy design build firm that works with many school districts across the country, but we have an office in Madison working with a lot of school districts around the state, saving energy and operational costs through the district and doing efficiency type projects. So here today to look for approval for amending the site plan for the Granite Ridge Elementary School in installing a new ground mount solar PV system to the north of the school. Working with Aaron and the staff there, we put together a site amendment plan application that it is, I think, before you. And I'm here for any questions that you may have. I saw the staff comments and also the engineering comments, and we presented an updated site plan that was sent forward to basically take care of the concerns or questions that the staff and engineer had. So I didn't have anything more to present, but as you can see up there on the site plan or in your packet, it's a 549 kW system, which is about half a megawatt. Takes about a little less than 2 acres of the area. That'll be secured with a chain link fence. And then we'll also, all said and done, we'll have a pollinator habitat type plantings that will help, for vegetation management, but also it's an opportunity for the elementary school students not only learn about renewable energy but environmentally and conservatively for plantings for flowers and pollinator habitat type species of plants that are there. So this system will So Grant Ridge was built a couple years ago, obviously with energy efficiency in mind. They did LED installed systems with heat pumps and geothermal field. Putting on this solar PV system basically will offset, I think it was like 97% of their electrical usage. So, which is a bonus, obviously, for the operations of the school and the school district financially being conservative towards the overall project and the school district expenses.
All right. If the commission does mind, then we'll hear from staff, and then we'll start with then questions from there. Aaron, you want to lead us off?
Yeah, I didn't have too much to add. This is a permitted use by right as an accessory use. That was something we amended into our ordinance a few years ago just to make it a little bit easier to get these kind of approvals. The one condition I had just related to what the plantings would be, and Sean has addressed that already. I think Kyla had a few comments as well, and I believe she's available online if you want to jump in, Kyla.
Hi, yeah, thanks, Aaron. The majority of our comments were related to plantings, like Aaron mentioned as well, in addition to the stormwater management, which the developer and their engineer has already sent over their stormwater management report, which we will be reviewing to make sure that all of the DNR codes are met, because the DNR does have code requirements in regards to the runoff and how to address that for the solar panel array. So we will be reviewing that to make sure everything is in compliance. That's all I had, Aaron.
All right. Thanks, Kyla. Thanks, Aaron. With that, then I guess I'll start with a couple of questions. What service area is this in? Is this MG&E or is this Alliant?
It's in Alliant.
Okay.
Yep.
Payback's not as good there, but that's life.
Right. Correct. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but we also mentioned, I forgot to mention, we did do a solar PV system for the high school a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was an MG&E, but this one's an Alliant.
Okay. It's close to the border, that's why I asked for that. And then the expected payback for the investment as far as this system goes, because I know personally I have one on my home and I have a payback for an array there. I'm just curious for this one.
Yeah, it's within 20 years. Over time, it'll be 30 years of savings because the 30 years is what their lifetime asset of the system. You're looking at over like $3.5 million in savings.
Okay, super. Commission members, questions you guys have?
So the panels have a 30-year life cycle?
Correct. Yeah, they actually go beyond that, but that's their lifetime warranty. Their efficiency degrades a certain percentage, like a 0.8% every year, but that all is factored into the cash flow and pro forma of the system.
Does that payback period include any repairs and maintenance that will need to be done to those units?
Yeah, the maintenance, typically what you have for maintenance is after 12 to 15 years, you're looking at inverter replacement. So that's typically what the kind of the lifespan inverters are. That's what basically converts DC into AC, so you can use that in your building.
That's included in the payback period then?
Yes.
Okay. Is this project included in the 2024 budget for the school district?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Is the project included in the 2024 budget for the school district?
I'm not sure how they're figuring that.
I still couldn't understand the question.
Is it included in the 2024 budget for the school?
I know that they're working with their finance partner to fund this. So I don't think it's included in the 2024 budget.
So this will be in addition to the 20.6% tax increase we're seeing from the school district?
I'm not sure on that. I'd have to check on that, to be honest.
Okay. Do you want to say something about that?
No, I was just gonna say I'm not 100% sure on that. I'd have to check on that to be sure.
And can you tell me the correlation between test scores and solar panels on a school facility? I continue to see test scores in the district going down, and I'm a bit frustrated that we're not focusing on education. You know, I had a hybrid before a hybrid was cool, and I'm in favor of sustainability, but I have to just make a public statement that I'm upset that the school district's not focusing on education and making those test scores better. Thank you.
Other questions from commission members?
Yeah, it's really, I guess, around the finances again, too. I mean, so the payback, it's a 30-year life cycle. And John, you've referred to like your system, and I've seen the systems and worked with it before. So, and in the presentation, you opened the door because you said there's a cost benefit, there's a savings or whatever. When do we realize that? Because it seems like that's really out in the 20-year mark, right? So just to back some of that information up, the high school that you referred to, you know, there's $1 million in bonds, and that's paid back through the offset of the metering savings. So if I'm normally paying $100 a month, and now I'm only paying $25 a month, that $75 is going to pay the loan, you know, the bonds, and so there is no savings to the district yet. And so you got to pay all that off first, and then you're going to see the savings, I guess, that reduction. So that's going to be out into that 20-year mark is when that is going to kick in, and then from the 20-year, the last 10 years is when that $3 million is realized.
As it cash flows and as you put in a utility escalation, which we've seen utilities increase dramatically, you factor that all in. So yes, after about the 20-year mark, that's when you see cash flow positive for it.
Thanks.
This is Heidi. I have a question on Zoom. I have a question about the installation process and if that'll be, you know, disruptive to any of the neighbors. I know there's a lot of like shallow rock kind of in the area for developments, but I'm not sure how deep you're going or if there will be much disruption for a ground mount system to the neighbors.
Yes, so a couple things that we looked at to make sure that we're not disrupting school activities too is one first thing. So we are to the north of the service road. The access to the school is to the south, and then staff parking they can also take to the south. So we've talked through about really starting to do some work before school gets out, but that would be the prepping, mobilization to get started. Yes, I realize there might be some bedrock, but if we do run in bedrock, what we do is we pre-drill that, and then we put a ground screw in between 4 and 6 feet, depending on the depth that we need after engineering drawings are complete. So it shouldn't have any disruption to the neighbors. It's not like they're going to be pounding, and they're basically going to be screwing that into the ground. And if there's any pre-drilling, yes, they'll be pre-drilling some rock, but you're not going to be having someone bang, you know, against rock for hours upon hours during the day. I hope that answers your question.
Yep, thanks so much. And I guess, so that sounds like prep work for the school year, just building on your answer a little bit. Prep work before the end of the school year and then really over the summer, is that the timeline?
I'm sorry.
The timeline.
Yeah, the timeline is basically to start in mid-May area, because that's when frost will be out, and then really get activities going when school gets out. So May basically till the 1st of September, before school gets started.
So that's, Sean, that's the duration of the project? then?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you, because I'm sure that was Heidi's follow-up question probably.
Yep, thank you.
So you said May of 2024.
Yes.
So there's a schedule, but there's no funding yet. Right.
So they're working on that. There's a board meeting tonight, school board meeting tonight,
Uh-huh.
to to approve the project or, vote on the project tonight with the school board.
So they
So
know-
they're working on the funding.
So they know how much it costs.
What's that?
So they know how much it costs.
Oh, yeah, yes,
Okay. They just don't know where they're getting the money yet.
correct.
Okay. Okay. I have engineering questions.
Yes,
Okay, so you said 500 kW is
Fi-
their array,
549.
549. So what is the expected kilowatt hours? What I'm thinking is in Plan Commission, we've talked a lot about the donut. Alliant Energy was in here and they talked about us, and I think you're fed off of a Cottage Grove Village circuit, I think. And so that could help relieve us a little bit with our donut situation and stuff. And so how many kilowatt hours do you think you're gonna be getting out of that? 'Cause
I think
that's
it was around 750 kWh, 750,000 per year.
per year.
Yes.
Okay,
It's got a production factor of about 1.3.
right. So so in my mind, engineering nerd stuff, there's a benefit because that helps relieve some of our grid a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a big school, so, okay, all right, thank you.
Other questions from commission members? Comments?
How far is it from Bus Road? It's kind of hard to tell on the diagram.
So the overall,
Or
I think
guess
it's
the start
over,
of the
I think
fence
it's
would be
like 125 to the right-of-way.
Okay,
So beyond the right-of-way to the road is probably another 60 feet to the center line.
okay.
So to the center line, you're 180 to 200 feet.
Are you thinking about what the people are gonna be seeing across the street, looking at that?
That and sound during the construction, that kind of stuff, so. I mean, there's no one else really near them except Bus Road.
Looks like, yeah, it looks like there's houses across there.
There's definitely housing around there, and then I know there's a gravel pit just up the road too as
Right.
well. We are planning, and I forgot to mention Jim Lundberg from Point of Beginnings. He's a civil engineer that we hired that worked on this site during the construction of the Grand Ridge Elementary. And there was landscape requirements that we met through the village landscape points requirements. And so we added a tree, a white oak, I believe, that follows the same path as what you have along that road when the school was built.
Other questions?
I'd like to see it screen more, at least on that east side.
What?
West side, Yep, Bus Road side, there you go.
You don't want to get too big though, because then you're going to cover your panels.
Well, not if you're set back a little bit and the panels are oriented south.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it should be.
Yeah. So, yes, you're right, exactly. You don't want to get too high, because then you take an effect to shading over
Mhm.
time that can take away some of the production, but I know
Looks
that,
like there's room to screen, further west.
yeah, I mean, certainly, we've done in the past is if needed, you can plant evergreens that are 6-8 feet high, that
Yeah.
grow to maturity, maybe 10 to 12 feet or more, every so often. I mean, we've done that in the past too. So, yeah.
I guess I would like to see that as a condition.
You can make it as a condition then. So-
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with including that as a condition. I would just want to have it be like a measurable condition, I guess, so we know how they're complying with it. I don't know how we would
My-
measure.
My thought would be to have them work with Aaron
Mhm.
on that. Is that okay, Aaron?
Yeah, I think that's fine, just
In
to
your
give,
spare time?
just to give Aaron sort of like the discretion to sign off on a screening plan.
How thick are you thinking? Like you can't see it at all, or just a few more trees? Or something?
Pretty much. And I understand it needs to be set back so we don't shadow
Yeah.
the eastern ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the condition would just be, staff approval of a screening plan, something like that.
Any other questions or comments from commission members? Otherwise, it's discuss and consider.
I would make a motion to recommend approval from the Monona Grove School District for a site plan amendment to add a ground-mounted solar array at Granite Ridge Elementary School located at 4500 Bus Road, including the conditions set forth by staff, as well as screening on the Bus Road side with a screening plan approved by staff.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second then. Any other discussion? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Aye.
Anybody abstain? Motion carries. All right, thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.
All right, Aaron, future agenda items?
Yeah, so we're doing something a little different next month. We have a developer that wants to present a concept that's gonna have some utility implications. So we would like to hold kind of a overlapping meeting, I guess, between the Utility Commission and the Plan Commission. I think the initial thinking is utility would start at 5:30, take care of their other business. The developer would come at 6 and present to both of us. Then utility leaves and we finish our meeting afterward. The only other item we should have would be the other half of the New Tech project, their site plan and conditional use. So does,
we would be starting early then?
yeah, at 6, yeah. So kind of splitting the difference between the two start times, if that works for everybody.
As long as we don't forget.
Any concerns with 6 o'clock on that?
I work till 5:30 and I work 30 minutes from here,
That's a concern.
so I'll make it work.
Thank you, Fred.
This is kind of tentative. There was no utility meeting, so we have to run it by them via email, but we'll plan on 6 and unless you hear otherwise, I guess.
Lisa, could you send everyone out like a reminder again on that day, just so we don't bring fire?
Sure can.
Show up here at 6:30.
Well, we'll get it on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Get it on Friday, but
Program at 6:30.
All right, anything else, Aaron?
That's it.
All right,
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
we have motion second, non-debatable. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, happy holidays, everybody.